One thing's for sure, Aaron Rodgers has not been immunized from punchlines. I'm Robin Lundberg here with Ashley Nicole Moss, and the jokes were flying as soon as the field goal went through the uprights to give the 49ers the win over the Packers, Ashley. And let me start with two things. One, Aaron Rodgers has a Super Bowl. There are a lot of great players who don't have a Super Bowl, so credit to him for that. It's not like you can say he hasn't won one. Two, I don't hold anything Aaron Rodgers said against him this year in the way I'm judging his performance. Any of the nicknames, Throw Rogan, Breitbart Star, whatever people were saying online, I don't hold any of that against Aaron Rodgers. But when it comes to the postseason, he has now come up small too often for a player of his stature, and it needs to be pointed out. Too often he has skirted the blame in these situations, and a lot of it falls squarely on his shoulders, especially the last 2 years where he had Super Bowl caliber teams and did not even get to the Super Bowl. He's had four 3-and-outs in the fourth quarter the last 2 years, where he managed to throw for just 9 yards in those spots. And considering the conversations he's in, he should never, ever be mentioned with Tom Brady again. Patrick Mahomes, in my mind, has already passed him. And at some point, the postseason failures have to impact his reputation.
Well, for someone who wasn't keeping track of all the jokes, you sure remember all the nicknames. But yeah,
Yeah, they're funny, right?
Twitter was definitely comedy. But yeah, this is a lot to unpack with Aaron Rodgers. I think for me, the biggest thing was his body language in the game. And yes, Aaron Rodgers always has this kind of aloof body language, but I don't know. This past weekend, it seemed to reach a new level, new heights that I feel like we haven't seen. And it was not a good performance. I mean, look, playing in the frozen tundra that is Lambeau Field is supposed to be the ultimate home field advantage. It's supposed to be a place you try to avoid at all costs necessary, because if you got to go toe to toe with Rodgers, it is own territory. You're not going to come out on the winning end. And the 49ers did. So you got to look at that performance from all aspects. I mean, he only had 55 passing yards in the second half. It looked like he missed a wide open touchdown that would have went ahead and put the Packers 17-10 of the 49ers. And the only touchdown came in the very beginning of the game. Aaron Rodgers did not look like the quarterback that we've all idolized, at least from a football standpoint. And I agree, you have to start having the conversation. One Super Bowl is nothing to laugh at. There, like you said, a lot of Hall of Fame quarterbacks haven't even gone ahead and gotten one. So he can't go ahead and go take that completely away from him, but you also have to look at all the talent that also exists in the NFL. And it's starting to look like it's time to realize that maybe Aaron Rodgers is not the GOAT we all thought that he was.
Well, and when you're talking about the GOAT or people who are in those conversations, that, upper echelon of the Hall of Fame, if you will, they have those signature moments. And this was a chance to be a signature season for Aaron Rodgers. One, because he had the team around him, a very good defense, a solid offensive line, a running game, a running back who can catch the ball out of the backfield as a wide receiver, maybe the best wide receiver in the entire NFL in Devontae Adams. So he had the pieces to win. And then he could have thrown all the jokes and everything in everybody's face. If he rises above, if he has those performances, it doesn't matter what people say. It doesn't matter if people's feelings are hurt or whatever, they're saying about Aaron Rodgers. He could have come out and owned this NFL season. It could have been the season of Aaron Rodgers, and instead, he's going home looking at the offseason and perhaps a new team.
I'm not even going to go ahead and talk about the jokes because people talk. Twitter is Twitter. I'm going to go ahead and look at the trajectory of the entire football season from back to training camp. And before that, Aaron Rodgers made this whole hoopla about, is he going to show up? Is he not going to show up? Is this his farewell tour? Is this not his farewell tour? Is the team going to be together? Is he upset about Jordan Love? This whole just chaos, this circus surrounding this Packers team. And this is how you go ahead and you end your postseason. This is how you go ahead and you show up in the playoffs. That first game, the first game of the season, a lot of people were looking at Aaron Rodgers like, oh, he does not want to be here. He did not look good. And then they had this amazing season that you started to think that, if this is Aaron Rodgers' last hoorah in Green Bay, he's going to go out on top. And to just show out or not show out in the playoffs with a team that you put through the ringer, with a fan base that you put through the ringer in more ways than one through the course of this entire season. Like I said, it just leaves a bad taste in people's mouths. And from an overall legacy standpoint, it just goes to show that maybe you are not the guy that everyone thought that you were. There was a point in time that you were, but talent changes. Quarterbacks get better, teams get better. And what you did 10 years ago doesn't really matter right now at this point in the season because if you look at it, you haven't done much.
Yeah, he hasn't looked like an MVP when the Packers season has truly been in jeopardy.